The windows explode inward in a shower of glass and gunfire. Shi-woo tackles Thandiwe to the floor, rolls, comes up firing with the weapon he always keeps close. 3 attackers, professionals moving with military precision. He kills the first with 2 shots center mass, the second with a headshot, wounds the third who falls choking. In the sudden silence, the wounded man laughs through blood. You think you can hide from Adeyemi Okoye? You think you can steal his daughter? I'm not his daughter, Thandiwe shouts from behind the overturned table. The man's eyes focus on her, something like pity crossing his face. He knows that. He's always known. You're just a pretty lie he stole 20 years ago, and now he wants his property back. What does that mean? Thandiwe demands, but the man dies gurgling. They run. No time to pack, no time for anything except grabbing weapons and cash and disappearing into the night. At a motel 30 kilometers away, paying cash, using fake names, they finally stop running long enough to think. No more secrets, Shi-woo says. His hands are shaking with adrenaline. If we're doing this together, I need to know everything. Thandiwe opens her laptop, shows him files she's been compiling for months, evidence of her father's entire operation, shipping routes, corrupt officials, money laundering networks, and buried in the files, something else. Records of a partnership that dissolved 15 years ago in blood. Your mentor and my father used to work together, she explains. They controlled Busan together until Jong-in tried to take everything. My father fought back, killed Jong-in's top enforcer. They've been enemies ever since. Why does that matter? Because I think Jong-in didn't want me dead, she says carefully. I think he wanted me to disappear. To hurt my father by taking away what he loves most. You were never supposed to kill me, Shi-woo. You were supposed to save me. He couldn't have planned that. She shows him more files, assignment records she's somehow obtained. Every target Jong-in ever sent Shi-woo after, people who could have been saved, situations that could have been resolved without death. He's been training you to have a conscience, she says. So when he sent you after someone you could actually love, you'd make the exact choice you made. Before Shi-woo can process this, Thandiwe takes his hand, places it on her still flat stomach. There's something else. I'm 5 weeks pregnant. It's yours. The world stops spinning. Are you sure? I found out 3 days ago. I was going to tell you. She trails off. Shi-woo looks at this fierce woman carrying his child, and something crystallizes. We finish this. Your plan to destroy your father, we do it together. Fast. Then we disappear for good. What changed your mind? He touches her stomach with reverence. Our child doesn't grow up running. We end this now. Listen, if you're still watching without subscribing, I'm genuinely worried about you. We're about to hit the climax, the warehouse showdown, the moment everything explodes, and you're going to risk losing this channel? Hit that subscribe button right now, turn on notifications, because what's coming next will have you absolutely wrecked. They can't run anymore, so they go on offense. Thandiwe contacts someone from her secret network, a former lieutenant in her father's organization who wants out. He agrees to meet at a restaurant in Haeundae, neutral territory. The man is sweating, nervous, but he brings files. Your father has known you're alive since the beginning. Kofi reported everything the night you faked your death. Thandiwe's face crumbles. Kofi betrayed me? He was following orders, the lieutenant says. Adeyemi wanted you to run, wanted you to think you'd escaped, because he knew eventually you'd surface to destroy him, and when you did, he'd be ready. You were bait to draw out Jong-in's best weapon. Me, Shi-woo realizes. The lieutenant slides another file across, but there's more you need to know. About who you both really are. Inside are photos from 20 years ago. A woman's body, murdered violently. A little girl standing over the corpse, maybe 6 years old. The girl is unmistakably Thandiwe. That's my mother, Thandiwe whispers. I don't remember this. Your mother was killed by Bae Jong-in 20 years ago in Lagos, the lieutenant explains. Power play between the partners. You witnessed it. Adeyemi found you that night, took you, raised you as his daughter. But you're not his biological child. Your real parents were killed. He pulls out another file, this one with Shi-woo's name. Your father was the third partner. Jong-in, Adeyemi, and your father. 3 men who controlled Busan. Until greed destroyed everything. Jong-in killed your father 15 years ago during the power struggle, then took you as a baby and raised you as his weapon. Jong-in murdered my parents, Shi-woo breathes. And my mother, Thandiwe adds. You're both orphans of the same war, the lieutenant says. Both stolen by the men who destroyed your families, both shaped into weapons for a conflict older than your lives. Shi-woo's phone rings. Jong-in, he answers on speaker. I assume you've learned the truth by now. Jong-in's voice is almost amused. Saves time. You killed my father, Shi-woo says, voice shaking with rage. I killed a traitor, and I raised his son better than he ever could have. You should thank me. I'll kill you. No, Jong-in says calmly. You'll bring Thandiwe to me. Tomorrow night, Busan Port, Warehouse 12. Both of you, alive. Or I'll kill everyone you've ever known, starting with Yoon Sera. In the background, Sera screams. The call ends. We're walking into a trap, Thandiwe says. I know, but we're not walking in alone. Over the next 24 hours, Thandiwe activates networks she's been building for months. Former victims of her father's organization, people who want him gone. Shi-woo calls in every favor he's owed. By midnight, they have 17 armed people willing to back them. Not enough to win a war, but enough to make both sides bleed. That night, lying together possibly for the last time, Shi-woo holds Thandiwe close. If something happens to me, you run. You protect our child. Nothing's happening to either of us, she says fiercely. We're both walking out alive. Midnight comes too fast. Warehouse 12 sits on Busan Port like a metal cathedral of violence. Shi-woo and Thandiwe enter together, their small crew positioned outside. Inside is a nightmare tableau. Bae Jong-in stands on one side with a dozen men. Adeyemi Okoye on the other with equal numbers. Between them, tied to a chair, Yoon Sera, beaten but breathing. Kofi stands beside Adeyemi, won't meet Thandiwe's eyes. Welcome home, daughter, Adeyemi says. I was never your daughter, Thandiwe replies coldly. Jong-in smiles at Shi-woo. My greatest creation. Did you really think you could betray me? The two crime lords face each other, decades of hatred crackling between them. They start arguing, old wounds and older betrayals, and Thandiwe cuts through it. You're both pathetic. Two old men nursing a war that should have died 20 years ago. You've destroyed families, murdered innocents. For what? Territory? Pride? For power, Adeyemi says simply, the only thing that matters. No, Shi-woo says, love matters, family, future. Things neither of you understand. Jong-in's expression hardens. Then die not understanding. He signals his men to raise weapons. Shi-woo smiles. Now. Outside, explosions tear through the perimeter. Thandiwe's network attacks from multiple directions. Chaos erupts. Gunfire, screaming, smoke. In the confusion, Shi-woo moves like the weapon he was trained to be. He crosses the warehouse in seconds, kills 3 men, cuts Sera free. Run, he tells her. Not without you, she gasps. Thandiwe is fighting too, protecting her stomach, fierce and desperate. Kofi moves toward her but hesitates. I don't want to hurt you, he says. Then don't, she replies, and shoots him in the leg. Non-fatal. We're even. The warehouse becomes a war zone. Jong-in and Adeyemi's men turn on each other as much as the attackers. Shi-woo fights through bodies to reach Jong-in. The old man is still deadly, but Shi-woo is younger, faster, fueled by 15 years of lies. You made me a killer, Shi-woo says, disarming him. Let me show you what I learned. He puts a gun to Jong-in's head. Do it, Jong-in smiles through blood. Prove you're my son. I'm not your son, Shi-woo says. I'm my father's son. This is for him. He pulls the trigger. Jong-in falls with something like pride in his dying eyes. Across the warehouse, Thandiwe faces Adeyemi, the man who stole her childhood, who used her, who she's hated for so long. She raises her gun, but her hands shake. All her planning, all her rage, and she can't do it, can't become him. You could have been my queen, Adeyemi says. I gave you everything. You gave me a cage, she whispers. My real parents gave me life. Adeyemi reaches for his weapon. Shi-woo appears, blood spattered and exhausted, shoots him twice in the chest. The crime boss falls, and Thandiwe turns away as he dies, refusing to watch. The warehouse goes silent except for groans of the wounded. Most of both organizations lie dead or fled. The war is over. Here's a real question, and I want you to think about this. If you had the chance to kill the person who destroyed your family, but pulling that trigger meant becoming just like them, would you do it? Would you choose revenge or humanity? Drop your answer in the comments, because Thandiwe just chose something most people couldn't. They escape as sirens wail. Sierra limps between them. Kofi, wounded but alive, watches them go and makes a phone call to someone unknown. 6 weeks later, they're in Jeju Island, far from Busan and the blood. A small house overlooking the ocean. Real names this time. They've made a deal with prosecutors, immunity for testimony that's currently destroying both criminal empires. Thandiwe is 13 weeks pregnant now, visibly showing, glowing despite everything. Then Kofi appears on their beach, hands raised, limping, apologetic. "I'm not here to fight," he says. "I'm here to apologize." He explains through shame and tears. Adeyemi threatened his family in Nigeria, kill them all if Kofi didn't report on Thandiwe. So he obeyed, hating himself, protecting his blood. "Your sisters," Thandiwe asks quietly. "Are they safe now?" Kofi nods. "Adeyemi's organization is gone. They're free." "You should have told me," she says. "I would have helped you." "I know. I'm sorry." She studies him for a long moment. "You saved my life more times than you betrayed me. I forgive you. But leave. Don't come back." He nods, starts to go, then stops. "Your father, Adeyemi, before he died, he told me something. Your real parents aren't dead. The people killed in Lagos were your aunt and uncle. Your actual parents have been looking for you for 20 years. They're alive, in London." He hands her a folder with names, photos, contact information, then disappears down the beach. Thandiwe opens it with shaking hands. A Nigerian couple in their 50s holding a photo of a little girl. The girl is her. "I have parents," she whispers, "real parents, still alive." 3 months later, London, a modest house with a garden. Thandiwe stands at the door, visibly pregnant now, Shiwoo beside her. Her hand trembles on the doorbell. A woman answers, early 50s, with Thandiwe's exact eyes. She sees Thandiwe's face and gasps like she's been shot. "Thandiwe? My baby? My Thandiwe?" "Mama," Thandiwe says, the word pulled from somewhere deep and forgotten. They collapse into each other, sobbing. A man appears behind the woman, Thandiwe's real father, crying too. "We thought you were dead. We thought we'd lost you forever." "I'm here," Thandiwe chokes out. "I'm home." Later in the garden, Thandiwe's real parents meet Shiwoo. They're wary of this dangerous-looking man, but when he talks about their daughter with reverence, when he touches her stomach with protective gentleness, they understand. "You've killed people," her father says quietly. "Yes," Shiwoo admits. "I won't lie. To protect her. Always." The older man nods. Then welcome to the family. That night, Thandiwe and Shiwoo lie in the guest room. "Are you happy?" he asks. "For the first time in my life," she says, "I know who I am, where I came from, where I'm going. Yes, I'm happy, even with a killer for a husband." "Especially with you," she says, "because you killed to give me life, not take it." One more question before we wrap this up, and I'm genuinely curious. Do you think people can really escape cycles of violence, or are we all just destined to repeat the sins of those who raised us? Let me know in the comments, because this story is about breaking chains, and I want to know if you believe it's possible. 5 years later. The same London house. A little girl, 4 years old, plays in the garden with her grandparents. She has her mother's dark eyes and her father's quiet intensity. Shiwoo and Thandiwe watch from the porch, hands intertwined. They're softer now, happier, the violence behind them like a nightmare they woke up from. The little girl runs over. "Appa, look what Grandpa taught me." She shows him a flower, face glowing with innocent joy. Shiwoo kneels, this man who used to be a weapon, and examines the flower with complete seriousness. "It's beautiful, sweetheart, just like you." The girl giggles, runs back to her grandparents. "We did it," Thandiwe murmurs. "We actually built something good from all that darkness." We did, Shiwoo agrees, pulling her close. No regrets? He looks at his daughter, his wife, his life. Not a single one. The cycle is broken. The ghosts are gone. What remains is simply love, simply family, simply the choice to be better than those who came before. And sometimes that's enough. Sometimes that's everything. If this story destroyed you in the best way, if you felt every twist and every emotion, do me one favor, subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell. Share this with someone who loves dark romance and impossible choices. Leave a comment about which moment hit you hardest. And come back next week because I have more stories that will make you feel this alive, this wrecked, this hopeful. Thank you for listening. Until next time, choose love over violence, choose family over revenge, and always, always believe that broken people can build beautiful things.